Hello, everyone. We're here. It's actually Christmas right now. We're enjoying it. Most of us. One of us is dying.
Yeah, that's me.
Unfortunate.
I'm kind of sick and I sound like crap.
Oh my god.
No.
That one was worse than any of the previous ones.
This is actually our
voice
third
right there.
time introducing ourselves. We've done this 3 times now. We decided that I sound too horrible.
Yeah, well, anyways, today is Christmas. It's late at night. Not super late, but we're popping out our final episode for the year. Basically, the idea of this one is we go over the parts of the Game Awards we actually care about. We tried to do this once and Bert failed us. And then we talk about our personal top movies, top games, top anything else you want to of the year. I don't know, but mostly movies and games are like the main things. I guess if you got to bring anything else up, mention a fire TV show you saw this year, this is the episode to bring it up, you know?
Yep.
And then worst as well. So, but honestly, as far as games and movies, pretty good year. Pretty good year.
Pretty great year.
I mean,
think.
every year has its dog shit ones of each, and there definitely was. But as far as good ones, I feel like there was more than at least the last, 5 years, maybe even 10 years.
Yeah, I say this is one of the better years we've had in a while.
The ratio's been better.
I agree.
So, we're here. It's me, Bert, Alexander. We're all going to rock out on our news right now. Who wants to start this up? We have a few different things.
I'll go first.
I kind of want to go last.
Yeah, I'll go first and just get through mine. First thing I have, Jonathan Majors, King the Conqueror, was defeated prematurely.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure how it all went down with his legal proceedings, but he's either been found guilty or charged with something in terms of like the domestic abuse case that was
Hit him with a bang pow, and then they kicked him.
Yeah, and Marvel dropped him. A bunch of sponsors have dropped him, and so not very good news for Jonathan Majors. And who knows what this is going to lead to for the MCU, because now the big bad is either going to have to be recasted, or they're going to have to try and figure out a way to sidestep him and move to something new.
I've actually seen a lot of people, obviously sad news for whoever, got beat down. But I've seen a lot of people saying, you know what? Kang getting thrown out might be the way forward. This could be beneficial to the brand.
It's
It's a good excuse to make a hard change.
Yeah, it's definitely a good excuse to hard correct and try and move in a different direction and maybe try and separate from the bad stuff that they've been putting out. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise, but so far no word from Marvel on what they're going to do, but I'm sure that'll come in the coming weeks and months.
Me and Bert handcrafted a theory that I really liked that he said. You were there for it. You remember a couple days ago? I was like, man, it'd be pretty cool if they just showed Kang, from behind or whatever, helmet on or something. So obviously you can't tell who it is. And then Doom just lays him down, and then Bert's like, yeah, and then he says this, and then hit him with a bird.
And it's finally, that was the last one.
That would be so funny.
Yeah, that would actually be
that
kind of
would be
good.
hilarious. I would be a fan of that.
Yeah, I would love to see Doom. So, I mean, I would like that just for that reason alone. Other stuff I have MCU related. What If Season 2 is out now? They're releasing day by day, so one day after the next. I forget how many episodes in total. I think it's around 9 or 10 or something like that. We'll probably talk about each individual episode, maybe in the beginning of our...
Wait, we will?
Or, well, I guess it's bi-weekly, so we'll probably talk about each episode and go through the show, or at least I will.
I did not know that. I should probably start watching it then.
Yeah, they're pretty...
What show?
What If? They're pretty short, and they're coming out. Yeah, but, little...
I didn't see the first season. Is that important?
Nah, you don't need to. It shouldn't matter.
Nice.
Turns out it matters.
Yeah, but maybe it will. I don't know. But we'll probably cover that a little bit at least. And then other news, there is a Blade game in development. That was like an announcement from the Game Awards a week or two ago. They had some, I think it was just like a teaser, no gameplay or anything. Interesting art style. I like the art style, kind of very different from like other recent Marvel games that we've seen. So
kind of reminds me of Saints Row when it was good. Now it's obviously not good.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to expect from it, but I am a fan of the Blade character, so if they do something interesting and like maybe a little bit of some horror elements and some like darker stuff around like the Blade world would be kind of cool.
Pretty good.
Yeah, the old Blade movies with Wesley
right.
Snipes. Those are good movies.
It's all right.
Yeah, I rewatched them semi-recently. Well, I mean, the first one's pretty good. I don't know how the other two hold up.
Yeah, I forget what...
Usually they decline as you go on.
Yeah, I forget what the consensus is on the trilogy, but they're popular. Last thing of news I have, it's kind of a big one. There was like a bunch of major like Insomniac leaks. That's the creators of Marvel Spider-Man. And
or Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank, they do also. But a bunch of leaks just came out of their studio. They have release dates for Spider-Man 3, release dates for
Windows.
Yeah, release windows, and like their plan for the next like 5 years or something like that. So if you don't want to know anything about this, like there's gonna be some spoilers for that kind of stuff. So if you don't want to hear it, don't listen right now. Come back in like 2 minutes.
Not like story spoilers though.
Yeah, but stuff that they're planning. So one of the major ones was a Venom game. So the Venom game is supposed to release in 2025, I think. 24 or 25, I can't remember. I'd have to look it up again.
Yeah, but I mean, that's their estimate. That's like best case, could still go back. Because it's not even like a announcement of theirs. That's just their like in-house estimate.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe all of this stuff will get canceled and it won't even matter anyway. But, so Venom, Spider-Man 3, obviously the Wolverine game, that had some major leaks, a lot of like gameplay. It's obviously like pretty early on in development, so it's a little bit raw, but I mean, from what it is, it looks kind of interesting and cool, and it looks like it could be fun. It's kind of more of like an over-the-shoulder type of third-person camera, and
I believe the term is isometric.
Yeah, so a little different than Spider-Man, but also looks pretty cool. Wolverine looks great. It's pretty brutal, which is always good with Wolverine.
Honestly, it looked further along than I thought it would have been at this point.
Yeah, so
it's pretty exciting.
It is exciting. And then there was also rumors and potential leak of an X-Men game further down the line, as well as like a multiverse, kind of like Spider-Verse game. But I believe the Spider-Verse game was canceled. I think I saw that. There was a bunch of concept art for it that leaked, but I don't think that they're going through with that one. But they do have some kind of a multiplayer game planned at some point. So
that could be cool.
We will see what that actually ends up being.
I would rather it be co-op than competitive multiplayer, so hopefully we end up over there instead.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so we'll keep our eyes on Insomniac and see what kind of statements they release and what other news they have and whatever other projects they have planned, and get some solid release dates, not just these leaks, because obviously this could all change. But as far as news, that's all I have.
I have a couple things. I'll start with my stuff from the Game Awards. No Man's Sky developer Hello Games announced their new game, Light No Fire, which basically looks like the exact same game, but it's one planet instead of 50, and they're populating it more, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of more fleshed out, and there's a lot of...
Jesus.
Sorry. There's a lot of... what's it called? Like, fantasy elements to it.
To me, it seems like the kind of game that will be fun to see things in, but not fun to play, really. If that makes any sense. Like, it'll look really cool to see actual miles and miles high worth of mountains, But I mean, is it really going to be that fun to walk up them maybe once?
Yeah, who knows? It depends on
You
how
know?
densely populated the map is and the world and everything that they do with it. So,
And let's not, like, obviously No Man's Sky, super popular these days. Everyone's like, oh my god, I love how much it got updated. But I mean, maybe we'll just get hit with the same thing where this one's shit and they follow it up for years until it finally isn't bad anymore.
yeah, who knows?
That is probably the second biggest thing from the Game Awards, at least that I like am tapped into. Like I know people are into it, or I personally have played. The second biggest one, which is not really a big deal to me, but I could see why like it's a huge deal, is that a new Monster Hunter game was announced.
Yeah,
I heard about
I'm
this.
not familiar much with the Monster Hunter series, so it didn't like
I
excite me.
played
good
Monster
games.
Hunter World maybe like 20 to 30 hours. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was pretty fun, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those like super grindy games.
Oh, okay.
So if you're a grinder, you know, you go out and you hunt monsters to grind better gear to hunt better monsters. That's pretty much the whole game.
It's really fun. It's fun.
It seems like it would kind of be fun.
If you like grinding games, it's a fun game. Or combat's cool, at least in World. And then what was the one that came after World, but it wasn't as good as World?
Rise.
Yeah, but Rise was like a half sequel. It wasn't like this new one. Seems like it's gonna be. I believe it's called Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds, I think is what they were calling it.
I believe.
This one seems to be like a bigger change than the last. So I probably won't play it. Maybe I will if it's crossplay, but I don't think I'll play it. We'll see.
Something to keep our eyes on.
I probably will pick it up.
Yeah.
Another thing. So Cyberpunk kind of like had a big DLC expansion thing released recently, and then there was news about how apparently Cyberpunk 2 is very early in development. I don't know what they'll call it because it probably won't be called Cyberpunk 2 because it's Cyberpunk 2077, so they'll probably give it some stupid name. But the sequel to Cyberpunk is apparently in super early development, but CD Projekt Red created a new studio based in America that will be making it.
Interesting.
So maybe that means it won't suck.
Maybe. Cyberpunk has so much support still right now, even with their like big DLC they just dropped and all that.
Yeah, I mean it's probably gonna be years until the sequel comes out. It like was just, you know, notified at all that it even exists.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's something that is kind of interesting just because they're opening an American studio and not many new American studios like come around these days.
Yeah. Yeah, that will be interesting.
Other game news. Sonic, there's this next year, 2024, Sonic is going to pop off, I'm hoping. There's a lot. Apparently there are 4 to 5 different Sonic games in development right now, with not much known about any of them. But a possibility, all rumors, who knows for sure, that we might be finally getting adventure remakes / remasters of the adventure games, which I think are the best ones in the whole series, if you ask me.
Okay.
So that would be super hype if they like remade Adventure 1 or it did a remake like combination of Adventure 1 and 2 or just something, or an Adventure 3. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
I really want Sonic Adventure to come back. Other than that, Shadow is being pushed heavily because obviously this year coming up, new Sonic movie focuses Shadow, so Shadow is coming into Sonic Superstars. Apparently, all of these leaks are saying that these 4 to 5 games in development all include Shadow as a heavy like main character or like primary side character.
That's cool. I love Shadow, so.
Yeah, Shadow is the best character in Sonic, so...
Yeah, it's one of the coolest songs.
he has a few songs, but yeah, I agree.
All Hail Shadow.
That's a good one, yeah. So this should be the year of Shadow 2024, hopefully. And then if we're really lucky, we'll get some kind of adventure type game, because that's fire. That's the Sonic content that I've been missing, because Sonic's been shit for so long, you know?
Yeah.
So, also, again, just rumors, but they're saying Shadow might make his way to Frontiers as well. Not that Frontiers is average, like it's not bad, but it's just one of those middle of the road games. But I mean, if Shadow came into it, I'd play it again. So that's it for my game news. Now my biggest news. I think this is a huge deal. I think probably neither of you have heard this yet, but I think this is a very big like news story. One Piece is really, really popular right now. They had the live action. Apparently, the show is getting hype. Luffy just went like Gear 5 or some shit. I'm not caught up. There's too many episodes. But apparently, Gear 5 was really hype. The live action show is hype. I did see that. But this is where it gets a little bit weird. So One Piece started like 99, 98, something like that. 2000 maybe? I don't know. Somewhere between 97 and 02. It's still going on, which is what makes this weird. So One Piece, still going on, show still exists today, is now being remade while it's still airing.
That's wild.
I mean, it's been around for almost 25 years.
It is for the 25th year anniversary, actually. So Naruto, for its 20th anniversary, got fucked, and One Piece is getting remade. So that's tragic.
One Piece fans are probably so hyped about that.
Yeah, but it's just odd to remake a show that isn't finished.
Yeah, but I mean, it's cool because there's so much to work with, so it's not like they're going to be remaking stuff that just was done. They'll be way back.
So this is the thing, though, about One Piece being remade, right? So the first episode of One Piece, I've actually seen the first, 40. First few episodes look like shit. They're in the 90s, early 2000s.
Early anime always looks kind of bad.
Yeah, I mean, Naruto looks bad for, 50 episodes, too. Honestly, even the later episodes are just mid as far as, animation quality. But the question is, right? They're remaking One Piece. I mean, they got years of content to go through before they get close. But, at what point do you stop, right? At what point do you meet up with animation quality that you're like, yeah, that's pretty much the same now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that...
Or do you just remake the whole thing?
Yeah, they're probably not worried about this, I would think, because there's just so much time that they have to go through.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's just a very unusual thing to remake something that isn't even over.
Yeah, that's so true. And it's partly because it's existed so long. How many shows last that long and are still going?
Yeah.
A cool thing about this, though, if they're remaking One Piece, it depends how they do it, right? Because there's two different groups of people, two different groups of people's opinion on One Piece and the remaking of it. So One Piece is very famously known for having dog shit pacing and being super boring for a long time and then being good for a little bit and then being boring again. They just drag shit out. Worse than any other anime. So people are saying that because there's not much news about it, right? It's just that it exists. So there's two different minds, thoughts, trains of thought on this. Now they'll either just reanimate it exactly frame for frame, or they'll do a Dragon Ball the Kai version, you know?
Yeah.
You guys know what that is? Where they cut out the filler, they cut out all the just absolute wasted time, and they condense it.
That would be
down.
the strap,
and
I
just
feel.
hit the big parts.
Well, no, it just get rid of all the instead of having 5 minutes of someone yelling, it's 5 seconds. Because One Piece does that. Someone uses a move and you're on their face for 45 seconds.
Oh, I got you.
And you do that over the course of, hundreds of episodes. You're cutting, hundreds of episodes off of this 1,000 episode thing.
True.
That is true.
So
Yeah,
people
that would
are
make sense.
saying that if they do that, honestly, if they do that, That will get me into One Piece. I will watch this remake if it is a condensed version, because
I was thinking that too.
even One Piece condensed is still going to be like 400 or 500 episodes, because it's just a lot of shit.
But I also bet the story is solid for One Piece, because people have to be liking it
the
for a
story
reason.
is really good. You just got to get into that mode of being able to deal with this bullshit, which is just wasted time.
Yeah, that's hard for some people if you're not super committed to the show.
But this is a really good... This is a weird situation, right? Because you're going to have... The way anime works, Bert, you'll understand this more, is you have, like... You watch an anime, you catch up to the current thing, and you're like, damn, I want to get ahead. Maybe I should watch the manga. But now it's like pulled out another step. You'll be watching the One Piece remake, and you'll catch up, and you're like, God, I want to keep going. I'll just watch original. And then you catch up there, I'll just read the manga.
It's kind of crazy, too, because this is going to bring in so many new people. Like, even you just said, like, you would watch. Like, there's probably a lot of people that think the same way as you, and they're like, use this as their opportunity to get into the series.
Just the way anime is now, anime is not how it was in the early 2000s. Like, Naruto's got a shit ton of filler, Dragon Ball's got a shit ton of filler, One Piece, obviously, filler and just wasted time. That doesn't really happen in anime anymore. Like, that's not common, unless it's one of those animes from then that's still going.
Gotcha.
Like, the big animes these days, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, like, all that shit, they don't really... I mean, you get a 1 or 2 filler episodes a season or something, but you're not going to get, 40 episode arcs that don't even... They're not canon.
That's true.
Yeah.
So if they're remaking this, they need to have this be in like that modern format, put it out in seasons, and this is going to bring people in, because you tell someone to watch One Piece, they're like, 1,000 episodes? Nah, but you tell them, there's 1 season's out, 2 seasons is out. Okay, I'll watch this, because it's like now you're caught up on
4
it.
4 episodes, 5 episodes.
It's more easily consumable.
It's more convincing.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the live action has really risen its popularity.
Yeah.
I'm not even a One Piece fan. I hated One Piece when I watched it. It was so, like, just aggressive with, like, just wasted time. But, like I said, a remake, I'll watch it.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
That's the biggest news I have. But we can move to the Game Awards now. I just thought it was cool. Show that's not even over being remade.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Well, Bert, didn't you have news?
I have news. Yes. So I'm a reader, as we know, and they have released the first episode of the Percy Jackson TV show on Disney Plus.
I'm seeing good things. I haven't gotten to watch it yet, but I definitely interested.
I have a couple complaints. Nothing.
Don't spoil anything, though.
Heartbreaking, though. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I got you.
Like, it's all stuff they're changing it from the books in ways that, like, story doesn't change anything, but it kind of changes, like, the setup for things. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Maybe that's good. So it's, like, the same, but it's still, like, a little bit fresh so that you don't know exactly how things are going to play out.
What's going to be happening.
That's a good thing, I think.
Kind of like you got a synopsis of it instead of a exact explanation.
Pretty much. And that's kind of what I want. It's the same story, just told a different way. By keeping... There is some call-outs if you read the books. One I will say now, just because it doesn't really change anything, is there's a part where Percy's mom gives Percy some blue cookies. And there's a whole joke behind in the books that his mom has always given him blue birthday cakes and things like that. So like their entire, like, it's just like a thing.
So this would have just gone over our heads then if we didn't.
Yeah, like he would have seen a bag of blue cookies and been like, oh, they're blue. But like, it's just like when I saw them, I saw that like it was just something like,
it was like,
a mom does for her son since they're a kid.
Gotcha. Is there a lot of those moments where
Pretty
it's
cool.
like they just leave stuff open and you're expected to know it because
it's been one
from the
episode
books?
though.
Nothing's narrative or story wise, no. It's mainly minor details.
They're like
that
Easter
they'll
eggs.
toss
That's
in.
good then.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. As somebody who hasn't read it. Because then I'd be like, man, I wish I knew what was going on.
Yeah, like my parents, I made my parents watch it with me last night, and they looked over at me, and when they were done, they were like, "Oh, we'll probably keep watching this."
Oh, that's good, I guess.
And
They're definitely
to me,
casual
that's a good
fan.
time because it's hard for me to get my parents to watch shows.
Yeah,
I guess that's a very
and
good sign.
at the same time, though, like I'm not shitting on it or anything, but we're one episode in. You know, I feel like you got to get through 3 to 5.
Well, one
before you're
episode
like,
of Doctor Who completely turned me off of the series. So.
That's true. That's true. We
Yeah.
at least know it's not complete trash for now. Hopefully, they can keep up that.
And there was a
momentum.
beginning bit where it showed like some of like the monsters and the myth and stuff from like the books, and it was pretty cool to see it because I recognize what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool to see the things you read about and you envision in your head to like be put on a screen.
That is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. A feeling that only the Harry Potter fans truly got like fulfilled well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess Lord of the
Faithfully.
Rings as well.
yeah, that's true.
There's been examples of it. Yeah, that have done it well.
Those are the big
It
ones.
happens. It's
Lord of
just
the
few and
Rings
far
and Harry
between.
Potter.
Yeah.
I mean, the last Percy Jackson movies were pretty fire.
I mean, you could say the same thing
Yeah,
about
and what's
Marvel.
cool is the way the episodes seem to be flowing is like each episode feels like maybe 1 or 2 chapters of the book. So
Right.
it feels like each season will be about a book, which will be a good flow of story.
Uh-huh.
Slight, like, just bringing it back to what you said. You said you could say the same thing about Marvel. I think that's a little different because they have pictures, so you can
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
see it.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. That's very true.
But I'm glad that it's not shit. I hope it stays good because I would like to watch it, but I'm just going to wait for a few more episodes to come out because I don't want to watch them weekly.
Yeah, especially because the first episode is on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, not a fan of those.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
God.
I mean,
One more
I'm
thing, just
interested.
because I'm pissed. I want... Why? Why could Naruto not be remade? That show's over. Fuck. Okay, we can go now. Okay, well, we'll bring it to the Game Awards, right? We're just going to go over the big things. We kind of went over at least the announcements that we personally care about. Unless there's something that was announced that you guys were like, oh, nice.
No,
But-
I pretty much agree.
Yeah, I think those were the main ones for me too. So, we'll just do
Game Awards.
a couple that I want to mention. Mostly because I think it's kind of BS, but I guess I kind of get it. Best ongoing game, right? Really, the only two that were competing against this were Cyberpunk and Fortnite, right? Because those are the two that had some big shit this year, right?
Yeah.
Fortnite had a lot of things come out. Cyberpunk had
Fortnite,
Phantom
little
Liberty
bit.
come out, which apparently was fire. Cyberpunk ended up winning, but honestly, I hate Fortnite, but I think they kind of got robbed. Just saying.
Yeah, if you don't like Fortnite or if you're not
Yeah.
a fan of battle royales, I can understand, but you gotta like give it to them. Like what they do within that genre is the best in the genre.
Yeah, I see the community around it, and I appreciate that. But at least there's a lot of people that are fans of the game, and
Yeah,
I
and
see it as a cultural thing.
Yeah, definitely.
those people,
like Minecraft.
I'm jealous of Fortnite fans. I wish for frickin' Halo
games were- I
Infinite
wish my game
actually
was
got
fun.
significant content like that, you know? I wish we'd get an update that brings in Doom Guy and a whole new map to play something on. Like,
And custom games.
all
stuff,
Halo
yeah.
Infinite's maps are Forge maps that come from us. We make our own content because they don't give a fuck about us.
Yeah, that's true.
Another one I wanted to mention, best indie game. I'm actually very happy with this because after the Game Awards, I went and played this game. This game is so fucking good. Holy shit. Sea of Stars won best indie game. That game rocks.
What
it's
is
like
that?
It's like a turn-based RPG, kind of like I guess a little bit like the old Final Fantasy games, but not really. It's really hard to explain. I guess closer to like Paper Mario would be like
Wow,
the best
really? That's a throwback.
explanation. It's so fun. It's really good.
You just unlocked a memory I forgot I had. Paper Mario.
Yeah, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. That game rocks. Paper Mario. Till you step on that guy's contact.
I do remember. I do
But,
like that game.
Yeah, I would say at least out of games I've played, that's the most similar, but it's not even super similar to that. It's like kind of on that level, but not really. It's like a medieval type game, but damn, it's so fun. I'm very glad that game won, because that's a game that if it didn't win, I never would have played it. I only played it because I saw that it won. I was like, let me try it out. I like indie games. It fucking rocks.
That's
cool.
good.
I like to hear good things about small development teams.
They earn it.
Yeah, so Sea of Stars. Check it out. It's a good Steam Deck game.
Been looking for a good deck game.
If you're into RPGs. And turn-based. You gotta like turn-based.
Yeah.
I've never truly tried a turn-based, so...
Best turn-based games I can think of: XCOM, Divinity, I guess Baldur's Gate, probably.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate.
Anyways, moving on to another thing that disappointed me, where it disappointed me, but I guess it's okay. Fighting game of the year. The big two competing for it. Obviously, other games were there, but everyone knew it was between Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, right?
Yep.
Street Fighter won, and I don't know, like, about you guys, but like just general consensus, I feel like Mortal Kombat made a bigger impact than Street Fighter this year. Like, I just feel like Mortal Kombat was hyped up more. People liked it more. I personally played it. I feel like I didn't hear shit about Street Fighter after it came out.
Yeah,
Everyone
I was just
like,
about to say.
Yeah, I never heard anything.
I didn't play
about
either
it.
game, but I heard more about Mortal Kombat than I did about Street Fighter.
Yeah, so I personally thought Mortal Kombat was going to win, but
Yeah, I'm biased to
guess
Mortal
Street Fighter
Kombat,
was
so I
good,
can't really like. I objectively don't really know much. Like, I haven't played the Street Fighter games, so it's hard for me to actually
played
say if
one
it
of
was
them a
worth
long
it
time
or
ago.
not.
but upsetting for me. It could be a reasonable decision. I don't know. I haven't played Street Fighter, but I was just saying, like, from what I've seen people talk about, Mortal Kombat has regularly been in the convo. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Best performance.
This one bothered
Now,
me. Also a bias, though.
you could say it bothered you. It's not who I wanted to win, but it's not one that I think didn't deserve to win.
Yeah.
He did deserve to win.
Very well deserved.
Like, honestly, I think actually everyone that was nominated for best performance could have won, and I would have been like, okay, like,
Yeah, everybody.
not who I wanted, but they're good.
Yeah, they were all powerhouses. They all did incredible jobs in all the games that they were in. So, can't really be too upset.
Neil Newbin won Baldur's Gate 3. I cannot remember his character's name. He probably does multiple, but he won. Personally, I would have wanted Yuri to win, but that's because I really like Spider-Man. I really like Naruto. He's also in some Fallout games, and he's pretty good.
Yeah, we're big Yuri.
It
We're
was
big Yuri
just a shame
stands
to not
here.
see.
Yeah.
I think he's
And-
Sasuke.
He is Sasuke, and it's so funny though. I've seen like the public opinion. People are like, Yuri's just a better Spider-Man now because Spider-Man always gets bodied.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It was his canon event.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
his-
people are saying, that it was his canon event.
Oh, that's good.
like the word around the internet.
That's so good.
But it's actually worse than you think. The reason it's his canon event is because best action adventure game, Zelda. Spider-Man
Yikes.
won nothing.
Yeah, Spider-Man didn't win anything. I actually wanted to
That was
I wanted to
tragic.
talk to you guys about this because there's a lot of people that are obviously like upset about that, but those people also only played Spider-Man 3. Like, we got a little bit of a taste of Baldur's
2.
Gate. Or yeah, Spider-Man 2, sorry. We got a little bit of a taste of Baldur's Gate, but we didn't even play it that much. We only played a few hours.
So, I actually
Dude, the
have-
potential for Baldur's Gate is insane, I feel.
I've continued playing it, actually. And here's the thing. I agree that Baldur's Gate is better than Spider-Man 2. And I think that every category they shared, Baldur's Gate beats it. But Best Action Adventure Game was Spider-Man's, like, that was the one it was supposed to win. Like, I feel like it had that one locked down.
It just came out at a really bad time, just like a bad year for it. Because any other year, it has the chance to really win a few awards, not even just one.
I agree with that, but I think it got robbed on Best Action Adventure Game because Breath of the Wild 2, what is it, Tears of the Kingdom or some shit like that? I played that too. I did not beat it, unfortunately, but played like maybe 10 hours, and to me it was like pretty much like the first one. I mean, it's good. I'm not saying it's bad, but I guess Spider-Man kind of is like the first one too, though, so depends, I guess it's a preference thing.
Yeah, Spider-Man didn't break any like ground as far as like innovation. Like they had some very impressive set pieces and they played it very safe and they did things really well, but they didn't go outside the box and just blow you away with like absolutely the most incredible new innovations.
That's true. Yeah, Baldur's Gate kind of broke game studios too.
Yeah, I agree, but I think Spider-Man kind of popped off though with its ray tracing with 60 FPS. That's
an impressive technical feat. I agree.
So, on a console.
Yeah, even more so, yeah. I agree with that, yeah.
But, like, Zelda winning action-adventure game, it's like, okay, sure, if one was going to beat it, it would be that one. But I personally think Spider-Man should have beat it. And then at the same time, like I said, I do think Baldur's Gate 3 sweeps it in every other category that they share, though,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Which Baldur's Gate did. I don't think it lost a single category. It might have lost one.
I don't think it did either. I think it won everything.
I think it was
in.
music. No, I think it was music.
Oh, maybe.
That was the one it lost, I'm pretty sure.
We should give some props to Alan Wake. Also, that game did really good.
Yeah. I'm moving through. Alan Wake, best game direction. That's the one, actually. Which, honestly, Baldur's Gate should have won that. Best game direction. Like, that should have been Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate was up for that one, but Alan Wake ended up winning it. Alan Wake won best action game, and I think it deserved that one. Personally, I would have rather it been Dead Space, but I haven't played Alan Wake, so I don't know. I think it won best narrative as well.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into that game.
Alan Wake 2. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then the big one, everyone knew it was going to happen, but like Baldur's Gate 3 sweeped everything, Game of the Year. It's there.
Yeah.
Those are the main ones. Basically, my takeaways from it are glad I got introduced to Sea of Stars, and I think Spider-Man probably should have got Action Adventure. Baldur's Gate also got Best RPG, if you were wondering. It wasn't Starfield. Who knew?
Thank God.
Surprise, surprise.
It should have been nominated,
we'll talk about
but
Starfield.
Wasn't, though? Hogwarts Legacy
yes.
should have been nominated for Best RPG.
Yeah, that's truly a tragedy that
Here's the thing, though,
it didn't
right?
get nominated
I
for
agree
anything.
that Hogwarts Legacy should have been nominated, but I don't think it would have won anything just because it would have matched up with every Baldur's Gate category.
Yeah.
No, it just
I just wanted it to get
deserves
some
recognition.
I agree.
Because that game was pretty good.
I agree it should have been nominated for a lot, but I don't think it would have won anything if it was.
Yeah, no, me neither.
It would have been in the same spot as Spider-Man. But that's the big things from the game awards. Now, aside from the actual awards themselves, there's a lot of talk about the show.
Oh, I was going to say this. I wanted to talk about this.
There's a big controversy because basically it seems like they don't give a fuck about the developers at all.
Yeah, this bothered me a lot.
Half of the awards, they just went through. They're like, best racing game, best this one wins, best this one wins, best this one wins, with like no one comes up or anything.
Yeah.
And then for the ones that did come up, which was like Game of the Year, fighting game, action game, the big ones, they limited people to 30-second speeches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was like a big controversy because when the Baldur's Gate people went up, they were up there and they were talking about how like some of their team members had passed away while they were developing it, and they were like crying up there, and then the people were like, get off the stage.
Yeah, that was
Hurry up.
I didn't like that. I think
Yikers.
that people
imagine that.
I think
though.
that just seems so rude.
I think that award shows have the potential to be so beneficial for their industries. Like the Oscars has not been great for a really long time. What's it called? The Game Awards did not impress me. And there's other award shows within other industries that they don't do enough to really highlight the industry and highlight the creators that are in that industry, where it's like the perfect platform.
I saw something where the whole show's like 2 hours, 40 something minutes, and 25 minutes of it is awards.
What is that for?
The Game Awards. Like 22 to 25 minutes is the awards, and the whole show is 2 hours, 40 something minutes.
Oh, wow.
What do they do for the rest of the time?
Trailers, someone talking about a game coming out in the future.
I want to talk about that. So,
stupid jokes. Like Anthony Mackie had like 5 minutes up there, but the actual Game of the Year winner had 30 seconds.
Anthony Mackie got screwed though. He was getting heckled the whole time. We couldn't hear it, but afterwards we found out that he was getting they were yelling at him a lot on there, and he was like, he actually handled it really well.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I'm just saying, that time should be somewhere else.
I agree. I didn't like how many ads they had for other games. Like, those guys got to talk way more than the guys that actually won.
Yeah, like Hideo Kojima was up there for a long time, too, with his new game coming out.
Yeah, I didn't like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a reward, not a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it really should be more about celebrating the industry.
Yes.
Right? Like, and I thought they did it really good for one very small section. For Game of the Year, they had like this orchestra piece where this incredible orchestra was actually awesome.
Yeah, that was actually
they played,
nice
the
to
theme
listen
songs
to.
of every game that was nominated for Game of the Year. That was cool.
I did like that as well.
That was probably the best part of the whole show. But that's the only thing like that. So
Yeah, it should be stuff like that versus a new game coming out in 3 years.
yeah, like what I think it should be stuff like that. Maybe you look more in depth to each game's community, what those communities are doing right now, stuff like that, because I'm sure there's probably some badass Baldur's Gate 3 mods, there's probably some badass Cyberpunk mods right now. Maybe some interviews with the Sea of Stars guys, like
that would have been good,
because especially for an indie game, like for them this is a game that if this fails they're just fucked.
Yep.
Them winning Game of the Year is life changing.
Indie game.
Or indie game, sorry. Indie Game of the Year is probably life changing.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, it's awesome. It's a good game. But like I said, man, more time with the actual developers and nominees of different awards. Don't bullet point this shit for like the ones they consider less important. Also, there like there's just some troll categories as well. But
yeah,
I don't mind the announcements and stuff, but it should be the minority
focus
of the show, not the majority.
Yeah, it should not be a focus.
Absolutely.
So, thing is, though, Game Awards, it's always been a joke. No one's ever liked it, but it gets better every year. And I guess it's still getting better. Hopefully it keeps getting better because it's on its way. I mean, I'm glad it exists, and I think it's improving. I just hope it can keep improving.
Yeah, hopefully it does. All right, you guys want to move on?
Anyone want to say something about the Game Awards before we move on?
No, I think that we hit it all.
No, I enjoyed the orchestra.
Yeah, that was the best part for sure.
There wasn't much speeches. So.
Like they should have, like, I'm just thinking like off the top of the head here, like they should have had more shit. Like, should have had a Spider-Man guy, someone dressed as Spider-Man come out. They should have had someone dressed as fucking Alan Wake or like a Baldur's Gate character.
Should be a party. You're celebrating great games, not.
Mm-hmm. They should have a competition. They should even have a cosplay competition. Honestly, like,
dude, the Baldur's Gate cosplay would probably go insane.
That would kind of be crazy.
They could just do so much stuff and involve people.
Yeah, and then
cosplay
people would absolutely
really
eat that shit up.
I'm not a big fan of doing it, but I like looking at them. Like, there's some cool cosplays.
Yeah, I can appreciate it.
You'd probably generate more interest in the event too, because people would get into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it would become more of a.
And then if you're going to talk about anything like coming up, it should be from the people that are nominated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well said.
Anyways, moving on. We'll start with movies or games, whatever you guys want.
Let's do movies. That's how I have it on the dock.
All right. Best or worst?
Let's do worst, and then we'll work our way back to the best.
All right. I've kind of been like loading the chat, so Bert, you want to pick it up for a little bit? I'll take a drink of my drink.
Go ahead. So, probably not in really a given order, but in a sort of order. Bottom from worst to best Or actually, so they're all pretty
Yeah, I
bad.
was gonna say they're
Not
all
gonna
they're
lie,
all
these are
supposed
worst
to be
movies.
bad.
But I guess if you had to like rank them from bad to badder, The Flash, The Marvels, and Thanksgiving,
I don't
the
know what
order I would
Thanksgiving
go
is.
in. Thanksgiving. Oh my! So it was a low budget spin-off whatever movie that I went to go see one night because I was just bored. It was so boring I couldn't even finish the movie. I just left.
Wow,
I think you told me about
That
this.
is impressive.
I've never done that. I have never done that.
Yeah, like it was like it's hard for me to do
I've
that.
never walked out of
It
a
was
movie.
just so bad.
Wow, that
Yeah.
is pretty bad.
It was like a Black Friday ended up on Live Leak.
Wow, you have the-
What was bad about it? Like it was just boring.
It was
or-
just so boring, and then it turned in, and then it devolved into like the most predictable serial killer movie,
wow.
where like it was the cop.
You have the Marvels
Damn,
on yours.
you're
You think the
cool.
Marvels is worse than Ant-Man?
The Flash. No, actually, the Flash. I'd say the Flash is worse.
I'm talking about. I don't know why you're talking about the Flash.
Oh.
The Marvels. Do you think it's worse than Ant-Man?
I kind of forgot about that movie.
Because I thought Ant-Man was
I would
way
say
worse.
no. I thought I would actually need to rewatch Ant-Man to tell you, but from what I remember, I don't like the Marvels really that much.
I mean, I didn't really like it either.
I thought Ant-Man was bad, but at least if you kind of turned your head off and stopped thinking about it as a Marvel movie, it became more passable.
That's how I felt about the Marvels. I felt it worked better if you didn't think too much.
Why would you have a song and dance in a
Guys.
superhero movie?
guys. Well, the Guardians has it and it works.
Yeah.
That's true, but
But Marvel's first quarter is good. Just saying.
Ant-Man never had a good point
It was-
for me.
that's actually, yeah, you're right. I remember Ant-Man pissing me off right out the gate.
I
In
remember
Marvels, it took a
hearing you
while for
bitch
it to
about
be getting
Ant-Man for
annoyed.
like weeks. So
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Yeah, I would say the Ant-Man's worse than the Marvels.
so Bert gave 4. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
And 3 of them are superhero movies.
Yeah, rough year for
Yeah.
superhero movies. And that's without us seeing Aquaman, which I've heard has the lowest
I won't watch it out of respect for Johnny Depp.
Well, I'm going to.
Too much Amber Heard in it from what I
It
heard.
has 11 lines.
I haven't seen it. That's
Too
a lot
much.
of lines.
That's not a lot of lines at all.
Honestly,
Maybe 0.
my list is pretty close to Bert's. My top worst movie was Flash. That shit was terrible. Not only was it bad in terms of story and being super boring, but I think that's probably the worst visual effects I've ever seen in any movie of my life of like that scale. Like that isn't just some
Dude,
student film or
especially with
something.
that kind
I just
of a
remembered
budget.
the CGI babies.
That's what I'm saying. Like for an actual movie, not someone's fucking, student project or like a super low budget film. That's the worst CGI I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's bad.
So for me, Flash is at the top because it literally felt like I was watching a fan project.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, YouTube has better CGI than
Yeah, like
that.
Flash was bad. My second one is Ant-Man for the same reason that you were talking about. Like that was a movie where I felt like, honestly, this is most Marvel movies now, but I watched the whole thing, it ended, and I was like, okay, well, that could have not happened.
Yeah.
And then
I remember watching Ant-Man, them introducing King, and I was like, holy shit, how are they going to deal with this villain in this movie?
Yeah, I know.
Disney dealt with
I
it.
was so upset with that.
And they sorely
Turns
proved
out
me
the
right.
justice system was all they needed.
And then right below Ant-Man, I
Ants.
have the Marvels because that was also bad, but I actually liked the first quarter of the Marvels a lot. Like, first 30, maybe 45 minutes. It's been a while since I've seen it, but up until the singing part, I liked the movie, and then it just was downhill from there forward.
Yeah, the first act is the best part.
I like not Captain Marvel. Miss Marvel?
Yeah. I actually thought
He's
Captain
probably
Marvel was
my
alright in
favorite.
that movie. I didn't like
He's better.
I didn't like girl who refused to give herself a name so that I'd be more confused.
Yeah, that's true. That was so annoying.
A genius girl who just somehow knew how
And
to
they kept
tie the
teasing it
fabric of
for,
the
like, the
universe
entire
together
movie.
without ever having this happen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, guys, I got this. And then she was like, I need to go to close this on the other side. And then she's on the other side closing it, and they're like, wait, you have to stay?
That's not even what bothers me, man. What bothers me is that this has never happened before. And she's like, I'll just use my powers to tie this dimensional rift shut. And she like throws out these science words like this is a common thing that is very easy to fix. And I was like, what the hell how do you know this?
Where's your science? Where's your scientific method?
Bring me the scientist from Godzilla. That guy was an actual smart guy.
That guy was awesome.
Yeah.
Gave us a demonstration and all.
All right. Who?
Anyways, those are my three. Those are my three right there.
How many years?
Flash, Ant-Man, Marvels.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good list. My list a little bit different. Well, actually, no, not really. I have Ant-Man. Thought it was the worst movie that I saw this year. I have The Flash.
It was not worse than Flash.
I think it was.
Even as bad as MODOK looked, the babies were worse.
In terms of that, yeah, they were worse
so
than that
bad.
one. But in story-wise and all of that stuff, I thought Flash was better. It was at least more entertaining. Ant-Man, the parts that were supposed to be entertaining, didn't even entertain me. At least Flash was kind of somewhat cool.
You're confusing bad with disappointing because you expected Ant-Man to be cool.
No, I didn't expect Ant-Man to be cool because Kang was in it, it made it worse off the bat. I already knew that it was going to suck because of that. So that's why I just don't like it more. And then my last movie, I saw it on a plane on a flight back from Spain. Good God, it was so bad. It's called 65. You guys probably saw the trailers for it like a long time ago. But basically it's Adam Driver. That's Kylo Ren, if anybody doesn't know.
Oh, me and Bert have seen this. It's that dinosaur one.
Yeah. He's on a planet. He's like on a prehistoric Earth with dinosaurs.
Yeah, we went to see this together.
So I know.
That movie
I forgot.
Sucked.
It came out this year.
I hated that movie.
I looked it up and I saw the picture and I was like, holy shit, I've seen this.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I'm just wrong here. I thought it was bad, but, you know, it was better than the ones I said.
No, at least there was kind of a good story in there.
No, the idea was a good, like, the concept was good. And I was so on board. That's why I was like, okay, I'll watch this. And then I thought it was going to be, like, super compelling and, like, interesting, and it just ended up not being any of that. Just so cookie cutter, like...
I love that we saw this.
Point A to point B, continue the plot, like, so many tropes.
Yeah.
That just did not
Yeah, we
work
went
for me.
together right by Mario the Baker.
Yeah.
What do you think of the T-Rex battles at
It
the
freaking
end?
sucked. It could have been so much cooler.
I just remember his ship, like, flipped or some shit upside down, and I was like, how the fuck is that thing still functional?
Functional. How did that glass break? Or not break, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it had that little girl that is in, like, everything now that I don't really like.
I can't remember her name, but I know who you're talking about.
She's the youngest.
Wasn't she the
She's
girl
the youngest
from Wolverine?
kid from Stuck in the Middle.
No, she's not.
I can't
from
remember her
Wolverine.
name. No, she's the youngest kid in Stuck in the Middle.
I can't
What the
remember.
hell else is she in? She's in something else big.
Damn, I really can't remember. Anyways, those are my worst
don't know.
movies. You guys want to move to best?
She's in Barbie. That's what it
Oh,
was.
yes, you're right. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, she's shit in that movie too. Well, she's not shit, but the movie gave her a shit character. She plays the character fine, but she always, I guess in 65 she wasn't annoying, but in Barbie she was.
Yeah, well, in 65, she couldn't freaking speak.
Yeah, but she acted good.
I guess.
Or,
Like, physically.
Her performance wasn't bad in 65. The movie itself just sucked.
Yeah, she's. I don't think it was top tier bad like you're saying, but I agree it wasn't good. For me, it was like a 4 though. Like it wasn't down in
It
the
was
2
pretty-
range.
I'd say it was pretty forgettable.
Yeah, but forgettable isn't. I mean, forgettable is bad, but like, you know, The Flash is memorable because it's so bad.
That's true. It stuck out in my head for being terrible.
Okay, let's
Oh,
go to
man.
best.
All right, let's move to something a little bit happier.
Yeah.
Bert, yay! Tell me your favorite. Well, start with 3. Work your way up to favorite.
You go first because I'm having technical issues with
Okay,
Firefox.
I'll go first. And it's something that I forgot came out this year, almost like 65. And then when I was sitting there in my bed, it popped into my mind and I was like, holy shit, that movie was fire. The Dungeons and Dragons movie fucking rocks. That's my number 3 best of the year.
I wish I would have
So
seen that.
good. See it if you hadn't, because
That movie was pretty good.
it's not like it's a, like storytelling marvel, but it's like a super fun movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fun,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to be crying or like, wow, this is a master in storytelling. It's funny. It's got cool visuals. It's a lot like D&D, and it's just fun to experience,
Yeah, there's a place for those kind of movies, so I'm not upset
Yeah,
with
that was one of my favorites for this year.
That's my number 3. My number 2, Mutant Mayhem. That was fire. Loved it. I almost teared up in that movie. I saw it 3 times. I
What
love
part
it
almost got you?
when Mikey got bodied. He was running through the streets crying and scared.
Yeah, that part's pretty hard.
But I love that movie. It was so good. I'm a little bit upset that there's so many god tier animated movies this year, because for me that one was the best, but popular opinion is that it's like 4th best. So unfortunate, but I think it was at least good enough to spawn a series for itself, because it looks like we're going to be getting more content with that, and I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, I'm also glad about that. I'm glad.
And then my number 1, this one is the one that hit, I don't know why. Maybe it's just like I'm weird, but if a movie can get me sad, I'm like, that movie was fucking awesome. Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
You.
That's my favorite movie of the year. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I was like, here's the thing. Marvel, I used to really love. Spider-Man was, not Spider-Man, Iron Man was my favorite character, and he died, and I was like, well, it's okay. My second favorite character is Rocket. He always was. And then, right after that, we get a Rocket-focused movie. I was like, hell yes, this is my now favorite character now that Iron Man's gone.
Yeah.
And it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was literally perfect. I loved it.
Guardians 3.
It was funny.
like
It was sad. It was,
tearjerker.
Interesting. Great backstory, even though I knew most of his backstory already. But it wasn't, similar enough to it that I knew everything that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I loved it. And honestly, yes, it's sad when his friends die.
That part
but
is so
the
sad.
saddest part
That
to
killed
me was when he is grabbing all the other raccoons. That was the part that actually got me super sad, worse than when his friends
the babies.
died. And he starts grabbing all the raccoons and saving them.
That is sad.
Yeah, it was in a way that's him accepting who he is.
Yeah, that shit was good. It completed his arc. It was awesome. Actually, and lesser focused on, it completes Quill's arc as well.
True.
So, great movie. Loved it. Anyone else?
Bert, you got it.
So you said D&D. That was also my 3rd favorite.
Did not mean. Yeah, continue.
Really great story. I liked how it felt like they were playing D&D themselves.
Yeah, it was just fun.
It was just a fun movie. They were smart with their they were smart with the world. They were manipulating it effectively, and it felt real. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best adaptation I've seen from one medium to another of anything. That shit was so good.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that was. And then I had Gran Turismo as my number 2, but I think Guardians was also pretty good. So I wanted to. It's an honorable mention for me.
What is?
Yeah, Gran Turismo is an honorable mention for me.
Gran Turismo. Really great movie. I rewatched it with my parents recently, and they both liked it.
It's great.
Yeah, it is.
But number 2 would be Guardians 3 for me. A lot of the same reasons. It was sad. It was funny. It knew how to time things, and it knew when to play what songs, and knew when to make you sad or when to make you laugh. Or
Yeah.
Just felt like everything was nicely timed and paced and whatever. But now my number 1 is actually Godzilla -1.
Nice.
That's another honorable mention for me. Fire movie.
That movie was great.
This movie was so good. Such a good story, and it's a great love story.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, actually it is.
I think.
It is. Very
I don't
cute.
it was great. It was a fun monster movie. Godzilla was an absolute
He was a
menace.
terror.
Fun
Yeah.
monster movie. Good war
He was
movie.
unrelenting. He was terrifying. He was
Better
Yeah, and
visuals than
granted,
Flash.
you saw the human side of it, and it was like
Better visuals than Flash on
you
a
wanted, like you felt
on a
bad.
$75 million less budget, or actually maybe more. I think Flash was $2 million.
Yeah, it
Sorry,
was
go
wild. It was like the dude. Like there was a part in the movie where the dude was like just living his life, being happy.
Oh yeah.
And the entire time that scene was going down, I was like, "No, dude, Godzilla's about to attack.
You're
and
like,
it's
it's
all
going
about to
down."
be destroyed."
like,
Yeah.
no, don't smile. He'll show up.
Yeah, stop smiling. It's all about to be ruined.
Tragic.
And then when he drops to his knees in the street,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he just screaming in pure anger. Such a raw feeling.
Yeah. Man, that movie was good. I almost want to go see it again.
Yeah. Quick, just side
Yeah.
note here. Like, I have my top 3 that I said, but I think like my 4 and 5 would probably be Gran Turismo and Godzilla -1. I'm not sure which is 4 and which is 5, but those are like my next 2.
That's good.
Mhm.
That's good. Is that it for you, Bert?
Yeah, those were my 3.
Okay. Let me do mine now. So number 3, I have Oppenheimer. I thought Oppenheimer was a great movie in so many different ways. The cast is stacked, so I loved that. Everybody
Yeah.
gave Oscar-worthy performances. The score, none of you guys talked about the score in any of your movies. All of those movies had good scores also. But the score in
Guardian
Oppenheimer is
Dungeons
gorgeous.
and Dragons.
Briefly
I
brought it
can't
up.
actually remember, but definitely Guardians of the Galaxy and Godzilla had fire scores.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did too.
Yes.
That
Yes.
one had a good.
It was mostly Ice Cube.
Mutant would probably be my 4.
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
so
Curious.
yeah, Oppenheimer for countless reasons. I can't even explain all of them. Cinematography, like the way it was shot, everything. Number 2, I have Godzilla -1, so I'm with you on that one, Bert. I really liked Godzilla -1 for all of the same reasons, so I'm just going to piggyback off of you on that one. I think everybody should go see that. That's probably one of my favorite foreign films that I've ever seen. I've only seen a few, but that one definitely stands out. So for sure that. And then my number 1 movie of the year is Across the
Can't wait
Spider-Verse.
for Godzilla -2.
Across the Spider-Verse. I'm surprised neither of you have that anywhere. I thought Across the Spider-Verse would have been up there. Across the Spider-Verse is like, it's almost like a perfect movie to me.
I bet.
I thought it was good, but it didn't emotionally move
How
me
did it not
Here's the
emotionally
thing.
move
in
you?
a significant way.
Unpopular opinion from me, shocker. I think that movie is overrated.
That's
I
crazy.
think the first one is much better.
I think the first one is slightly better, not much better.
I would say that Across is a 7
That's
and
crazy.
Into is a 9.
That's crazy. I think Across is a 10. Or not Across, Into. The first one is a 10. And I think Across is a 9. That movie's so good. The music's amazing. The acting's amazing. The animation got even better. The relationship between Miles and his mom. The relationship between Gwen and her dad. The relationship between
I did
the
like
other
the
spider
Gwen.
people.
Yeah, I did like those.
Like,
Those weren't as big a deal to me, but I did like the Gwen and mom, or Gwen and dad, and Miles and his mom. Those
That
were
was
good.
nice.
yeah, those were some of the best
I
moments.
take it back. It
The
did.
villain is actually interesting and
touch me.
compelling.
Yeah, dude, Miles literally made his villain.
That's a very common thing in superhero movies.
Yeah, but anyway, that's my
Yeah.
top 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. I just, everyone says it's a perfect movie, and I don't agree with that, but I don't think it's bad.
I don't think it's
Just
perfect.
to be
I
clear.
think it's amazing.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sebastian.
It's really good. Maybe part of the reason is that I was disappointed that I liked the first one more, because I was very excited for it, and I was like, yeah, I liked it, but the first one was better.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it for movies then. You guys want to move on?
Yeah, do you have any honorable mentions? Because me and Bert threw in two sidewinders.
My honorable mentions would probably be dang, I have to think now. I guess maybe Ninja Turtles and Guardians.
That's what I figured. One of these days, you're going to have to watch D&D. We'll do like a mini update section on it, just because me and Bert have already done it. But you got to watch the D&D movie sometime. It's a good flick.
Yeah, I do want to see it. So.
Okay, so that's best and worst movies. Basically, great year for movies. Bad year for superhero movies, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys, we had superhero movies in our top 3, so I mean, you could argue that it was still a good year.
I don't know. We had 2 superhero movies, and all of us had 2 superhero movies in our bottom 3, and we only had 2 combined in our top 3.
Ninja Turtles counts as a superhero movie.
I don't know about that.
It's a comic book movie.
It's a monster movie. Anyways, we're moving on to games, so we can wrap this up a little bit earlier. It's a shorter episode.
Yep.
Best games or worst games? Bert, you get to decide what we start with.
Let's do worst, because I had a kind of hard time thinking of 3.
Okay. I'll do mine first then. So, I am only going to mention games that I've played, and then I'll have one slight side tangent thing just to mention.
Yeah, these are only games that we've played, by the way, just so everybody knows.
So, absolute worst game I played this year, biggest disappointment, literally made me cry. Naruto, Shippuden, Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. Well, Naruto X Boruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. Huge disappointment. I was like, oh my god, everything's going to be combined into one game. I'm going to get to do all the boss fights. I might get to actually fight Zabuza now. I'm going to get so many new jutsus because everyone's getting a second jutsu. This is going to be fucking badass. The multiplayer won't lag like shit anymore. None of that came true. Well, you get to fight against Zabuza. That's the only new thing. But you also get like 30 to 50 boss fights removed. So, is it really worth it? It's not.
That sucks.
Number 2.
It does.
Immortals of Avium. I played that game for like 4 hours. Couldn't refund it. Really sad about that. It's super mid. I guess it's not dog shit, but it's just like one of those incredibly average games. I thought it was going to be cool because it looked like there was some cool magic in it. And like the ultimate magic abilities are pretty cool, but you know, like it's not actually magic. It's basically just an FPS, and instead of a gun, you like see his hand and it shoots different colors, but it's a gun. Like it does not feel like magic.
That's the worst type of magic in games, dude. So disappointing.
Yeah, very disappointing. And I was the dumbass. Like everyone was like, "This game's gonna be shit," and I was like, "I don't know. It looks pretty cool." No, everyone was right. I was wrong. So fuck me. I'm an idiot. That is for games that I played. Like I feel like I didn't play that many games this year, but for games that I played, those are my biggest disappointments. One that I didn't play, but big disappointment, Starfield, because just the news about it was so dog shit. I heard that it was so bad. Like people were saying it was so dog shit that it talked me out of even playing it. Like I bought it and didn't play it just from what I heard about it. So that was pretty disappointing.
Yeah, I have.
Those are my worst games, but like I said earlier, nothing will ever top my Naruto disappointment, because the 20-year anniversary, we got a game 2 years late. We got our 20th anniversary episodes delayed indefinitely, and the anime is shit. So I wish I liked One Piece, because they got a live action, they got a remake of their whole show coming along, and apparently they have a game coming out soon. So fuck me.
Yeah, that sucks.
I'm sorry.
Bert, you want to go next?
Yeah, so one for me was Immortals of Avium.
Oh, you too? You got bodied?
Yeah. You
should have listened to me. I told you not to get it.
Yeah, it was just the magic. It got to me.
Happened to me too. Everyone in the entire universe told me not to get it, and I said, I'll get it. And I shouldn't have. And then I told you not to get it, but you pulled the same mistake as I did.
I figured I'd play it and try it and just refund it if I don't find it fun.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
That's good, at least.
And then COD, mainly for the new zombies. Like that revamped Warzone zombie nightmare thing.
I did hear that the new COD was shit, but I didn't play it.
Zombies is dead.
Yeah.
Zombies has been dead for a long time, though.
Yeah, but this killed it, because at least it was semi the same game mode. Now there's more than 4 people per game.
In my opinion, the last one that was even possible to play was COD 4, and that was like bad. Or sorry, Black Ops 4, and that was bad. Like 3 was the last good one. 4 was where it started being bad, but at least it was like you could play it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm just sad about Naruto again, sorry.
And I don't have a third because I just couldn't think of any. I didn't really play a lot of games this year.
I didn't play a lot of games either this year. But I'll give you my 3. So the bottom one, I had Call of Duty also, just because it's the same game that it's been for the last 10 years. So I didn't really want to give it anything.
And they didn't even like properly remake. They call it MW3 and it's not even MW3.
Yeah.
They'd be better off just making direct remakes.
Yep. Number 2, literally any sports game. Those are the biggest ripoff, and they just steal your money.
Sports game.
And
even EA Sports.
They're
Football
bad for
Club?
the industry, so I hate them. I'm trying to think here.
Probably Starfield.
Yeah. I can't find my list now. It is Starfield, though. I know that. You're right. Starfield, the biggest disappointment and the absolute worst thing I've ever played. Okay, no, it's not the worst thing I ever played. But
it's just super like mid. Right?
Yeah, super mid and super basic and not innovative. And there was so much opportunity to do way more than they did. Like, there's elements that Starfield has that No Man's Sky does way better with a smaller budget and like less time. So it's just really disappointing and stuff. There's like a couple highlights here and there, but even the story like doesn't. It's not like a Bethesda story that like really pulls you in and you're really invested in and you're like, wow, I want to finish this. Like, I could barely finish it.
Do you chase after a lost family member for like the 5th game in a row?
No, you just chase after some glowing rocks or something. But
well, at least it's not like Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3 or Fallout 4.
Yeah, but you chase after these rocks and they literally, it's the same experience every single time and there's like 20 of them and it just sucks. There's no like alien species. Like, they could have fleshed out this world so much more with like cool factions.
Yeah, that's crazy that there's no aliens.
Well, in real life, worlds are pretty barren, so I don't know what you expected.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they have been dog shitting on people in their reviews. It's hilarious. But here's something that I thought about Starfield before it came out. Tell me if this holds true, because I didn't play it. But I remember seeing like they announced it and they're basically trying to be like an actual AAA No Man's Sky is what it looked like. And I thought to myself when I saw it, I was like, I would rather it just be like one solar system and have it be fire. Like, so good.
I would have preferred it after playing what I played. So yeah, I agree.
Like, a solar system is massive. Why do they think they're small? Why do we need like endless planets? Solar systems are huge.
Yeah. I feel like movies
do they not realize?
I feel like movies just make it seem like we have to do that, though, because all super big, giant sci-fi movies like galaxy hop and go to different solar systems and everything like that.
Mass Effect doesn't. I mean, one of them does, is like the Andromeda system, the only one outside of the solar system.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Pretty disappointing, though. You guys want to do your best?
So,
sure.
You go, Bert.
All right. I really liked... No, number 3 is Lethal Company. Been playing a lot lately with the boys. Really fun, though it's kind of simple. Basic gameplay loop. You're an Amazon employee going to abandoned warehouses filled with SCP monsters, trying not to die.
I do love SCP. To me, that I've only played it like 5 times or something. That game, obviously it's a different kind of game, but it gives me the same like co-op fun feel as like when Phasmophobia was popular. It's like that same kind of fun.
Yeah, Phasmophobia I found to get boring, but what this game does really good and right is that it has like proximity chat similar to Tarkov, where I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's like hyper realistic, and if like a person's around, like you're able to use a person's voice to navigate in game.
Yeah, you can do that in Phas.
Yeah, it's good. And then it's funny because your friend will be like running down a hallway and then all of a sudden he'll just cut out because he died.
Yeah.
Versus in Phas, when a friend's dying, you can hear them scream and whatever.
That's not how Phasmophobia works. I mean, if you're using game chat, if you're in a Discord,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, if you're in game chat in Phasmophobia, when you die, it cuts out.
No, in Phasmophobia, like between the moments between death and actually being dead and not being able to be heard anymore, it's like a significant amount of time. But in that game, the second you like die, you're dead.
It's been a while since I played, but I'm pretty sure I remember like cutting out when you die. pretty positive.
Eventually,
of that.
you do cut out.
Maybe it's just a little
But
delayed or something. Is what
it
you
takes like a good 3 seconds for the ghost to actually kill you in that game.
mean. Yeah, no,
And in that 3 seconds, you can announce your death.
I got
What I'm trying to get at is that since you can't announce your death in that game, part of the fun comes from when after you're like, because for you, when you're by yourself, that game basically is a horror game.
Yeah.
And then when you die, it turns into a comedy because you're watching your friends try to figure out what happened to you.
Yeah, I mean,
And then they're going through what you're going through now.
I guess we played Phas differently because that's pretty much how Phasmophobia went for me. I guess unless you're like super try-harding it or something.
What's your next one?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, my number 2 is Spider-Man.
Yep, I figured we're all
Really
probably
fun
not-
game. Yeah. I mean, it's all stuff that's been said already, so I'm not going to say it again.
Yeah, we had like 3 episodes
Really fun
on
game.
it.
And now my number 1 is Hogwarts Legacy. Huge Harry Potter fan.
Great game.
Super slept
And
on.
that game, like I don't do this often with games, but I sat down and I did every side mission, did every
This is a
collectible.
huge
You
deal for
barely
Bert.
finished
I-
games.
A massive accomplishment.
I don't do that with games.
Not only does he not 100% them, he usually doesn't finish them.
Yeah, that game held my attention the entire time. The world was so cool to see. It felt real.
Should have
It
been
was fun. The
nominated for
exploration's
RPG.
fun. It's fun. Like it's awesome because there's basic, simple like farming and care for your creatures.
yeah.
It's not too in depth to be overwhelming, but it's just enough to like satisfy the urge,
And it's got like,
so to speak.
and it's like all that stuff is stuff that didn't need to be there and no one would have cared. Like, but it's there.
But the fact that
anyways.
it's there
Yeah.
is awesome because it just adds that. Because in the game, there's that very much customized. Like, you don't really get to impact the world, so it's nice to have a place where you can call your own and you're able to customize and make how you want.
You know what?
And it's cool to put like also you're able to put your collectibles that you find in the world in this room,
Yeah, that's cool.
and they have an in-lore reason for why this room is able to do what it does.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You know what is a sports game that everybody would, well, all 3 of us would play? And you guys don't play sports games? Yes.
Quidditch.
If they,
I don't know if I told
I would
you
play
guys
Quidditch
this.
in
I'm
real
like,
life.
I'm like pretty sure I said this, but they have a Quidditch game in development. Same studio that made Hogwarts Legacy, an online Quidditch game, is in development.
I think this happened. Yeah, I think you said this in the
yeah,
past.
so
Yeah,
whenever
but
that
I-
happens, like, we're playing that.
Yeah, I mean that's a sport game, but it's not really. It's like how Rocket League's a sport game. Like it is a sport game, but it's not really. You know,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
it's sports if they were cool.
Yep. All right, Sebastian, you want to go next or me?
Yeah, I mean, mine are pretty much the same. Hogwarts Legacy, just like you said, really puts you in the shoes of a little tiny baby trying to learn magic. It's awesome. Cool particle effects. Story was good. World was good. It rocks. I love magic.
Dude,
Magic is
the
like one of
stuff
my
with
favorite things.
ominous.
Yeah. My only complaint about that game is I wish they went a little harder into like the mechanics that it shares with Bully, the Rockstar game, Bully. I don't know if you guys have ever played it, but the way Bully works is you run the day on a clock. So like you wake up in the morning and you have your
And you
classes
have to
at
actually
certain
time your
times.
classes.
And then like in your time between classes, you try and do this other stuff. You know, it's pretty cool. If you never played Bully, try it out. But I think it'd be cool if they went a little bit harder into that. But I mean, it's not like it's a game breaker. It barely affects it at all. So great game. Definitely my top 3 of the year. My number 2, kind of cheating because it's a remake, but I never played the original. So is it really cheating? The Dead Space remake was so good. I love the Dead Space remake.
Yeah.
That game is like, it just brings you back to like the early 2000s feeling of games, like when games were made to be fun and not to like steal your money.
Mm-hmm.
It just rocks. It's just like fun, you know? You don't run into something you're like, this is annoying because it wants me to play longer. It's like, no, this is just meant to be fun, and it's fun.
Yeah, it's a rarity nowadays.
Yeah.
Right? And then my top one was Spider-Man 2, just like everyone else here, probably.
Yeah.
Well, Bert's was Hogwarts, but still, Spider-Man 2, it was fun.
No, Hogwarts is my number one. Spider-Man was my number 2.
I literally just said that. I said except Bert.
Oh. Sorry.
You
Take
fool.
that back.
Yeah, so Spider-Man 2, it was fun. The story was good. Great mechanically, great technically. I had 0 bugs. Only one person I knew had bugs. It was pretty hilarious, though.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a Spider Cube comic coming out. I don't know if that's real, but
I don't know.
it would be funny. Yeah, Spider-Man 2 rocks. It's continuing the series forward. It's opened up the door for a Venom game, and I can't wait to see more.
Yep. All right, my list pretty similar. I didn't play a lot of games this year, so my list was hard to choose from. Didn't have many options. But bottom of my list, number 3 best game that I played this year, Mortal Kombat 1. Just more Mortal Kombat. I've been a fan of the series since Mortal Kombat 9. I went back and played the previous games before that one. So, as a Mortal Kombat fan, I had a lot of fun with that.
I have a question, actually. Because I have not played the previous ones, and since you said you replayed them, how does it stack up to 9 through, what, they went to 12 and then 1?
Well,
Where does 1 land?
Compared to what? 9?
9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh, okay. 9's probably my favorite, but that's probably a little bit because of nostalgia.
Well, 9, because I did some Mortal Kombat research when it was coming out. 9 is like known as the community gem because Mortal Kombat was kind of dying down, and then they went like full force heavy on 9. Like apparently they had all these game modes, like test your might, test your luck, test your whatever. They had the most characters of any Mortal Kombat still to today.
Yeah, 9 went
9
crazy.
has more than any of the ones after it. Apparently, like that was we need to bring Mortal Kombat back. Let's go hard on this one. So
yeah,
9 is like known as the peak of Mortal Kombat, apparently, from the research I've done.
Yeah. 9 was definitely my favorite. I can't really remember 10 much, honestly, so that's not a good sign.
That's the one with the cowboy, I think.
I don't know. It's 10, 11. There's 12 too, isn't there? No, 1 is 12, right?
I don't know. You're the guy.
Crap. They messed me up by doing 1. Anyway, whenever Cassie Cage appeared, I liked that one. I forget. It's either 10 or 11. But I think 1, other than 9, is the best one that I've played.
Okay, so that's good. So 1 is basically the best one because 9's like the god, the goat, 9 is the Halo 3. 9 is the Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah, 9 is that, but 1 isn't like head and shoulders above those other
It's the
ones.
fan favorite.
It's like pretty close. Like they're pretty tight in there, but I'd give it an edge.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Because it was my first time actually playing one, and I liked it.
I mean, you should go back and play the old ones. The campaigns take you like 3 hours.
Yeah, but then I have to buy them.
I have some of them. But anyway, my number 2, like you guys, Bert, Hogwarts Legacy. I'm not going to beat the dead horse, as they say. All the same reasons as you guys. And then my number 1, Spider-Man 2. Same thing, same reasons as you guys. We've talked about this game forever. Nobody wants to hear us talk about it anymore. But those are my best games of the year that I played.
That's awesome.
If you do want to know why, go back and watch one of our old episodes.
We have 3 on Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, probably a mistake
your
looking
pick.
back in hindsight. But
And it's all about having fun. Who cares?
yeah, but yeah, I think that takes us to the end, pretty much. Unless you guys have anything else.
Yeah, we wrap up as we do every time. What has everyone been up to? Now, I actually know what everyone's been up to because we've been up to the same thing. We've all been playing Halo Wars 2.
Yeah, been on a Halo Wars 2 kind of a grind. Having fun doing that.
That game is fun.
Very fun, yeah. So
We're deep in our Halo phase right now.
I have been watching the old Doctor Who shows. Like I went back to season 1, episode 1 from 60 years ago.
Nice.
And I've been working my way through those. Pretty good. Especially compared to nowadays.
I have been watching season 2 of Spy X Family. It's so much better than season 1. Holy shit. Yeah, they finally progressed to the point where they're doing arcs. So the last like 6 episodes I've watched have all been a continuous arc, which is pretty cool.
That is cool. I need to start watching it soon then.
And Yor is like a main character of this season. It's insane, which is awesome because she's my favorite character. She's probably killed like 100 people this season. It's insane.
My God.
Holy crap.
So
I haven't been doing anything except for
that's
Halo
pretty
Wars,
cool.
and trying to survive. Turns out it's really hard to do a podcast with no voice, so I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's been rough.
That's our main things though, you know? We're also just progressing through our Halo series. Obviously we got to play the games for that, but yeah. So that's it for this one. I think that covers everything. It covers our main important things for the Game Awards, the news we know, how Naruto got fucked and One Piece didn't. And just what we've been up to.
Yep.
Favorite stuff of the year, things like that. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Yeah.
New Year's coming up, so
Merry Christmas,
live
Happy
for that.
Holidays, everything, whatever you celebrate. We include everybody.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. I don't know them all. Please forgive me.
Forgot Burtmas.
Yep. Merry
Oh, yeah, Merry
Burtmas.
Burtmas if you celebrate that.
We at the Saltcast are big celebrators of Burtmas.
I just heard about it this morning.
Yeah, we're really into Burtuism.
Yep. All right. Well, that takes us to the end. So please
Keep it salty.
keep responding.
See you next year.
And see you guys next year.
Happy New Year. Okay, so I have a problem and I can't click on to it and I can't stop the recording. But it's been recording this whole time. Like my Audacity, I can't stop the record. It's like it's stuck. Don't know what to do. Fuck, dude. I don't know. And it's not grayed out and it's still recording and everything's moving, but I can't interact with the UI. Is there a hotkey to stop recording? Because I can use hotkeys. Yeah, I can't even interact with my computer. The hotkeys seem to. I'm trying to hit Control S and it's upset.